Welcome everybody, here's your Strategy Wolf and welcome back to Strategic Command American Civil War. And I'm really excited to say these words since it has been a while, but now we're back and here we are with the rematch versus LCanidestroyer, where I'll be playing the Union side. And if you want to have some remarks or have some, want to see the recap of the first match where I played the CSA, the Confederate side, then just have a look at the video that I put your link in the video description. Last video with a little bit of a recap and outlook to this game. So what we're about to do, if you're here for the first time, we're gonna have this multiplayer play by mail match versus LCanidestroyer. She's quite new to the game, it's her second match now, but she also practiced plenty in single player. Unfortunately, there's no stream of hers, so you'd have just to take my side, but you can enjoy it even stronger and leave your opinions and your comments there. I'm happy to have strategies, suggestions and so on, and I'm happy to react for any of those, so please participate. And yeah, if you don't want to miss any of those, then just already leave me a like and a subscription if a lot of you have already, but yeah, you know, this is a small channel and I'm very motivated when I grow, so it would be lovely if you leave me one, and so you will also not miss any of those. Thank you so much about this. And before we talk too much, let's go in together. In the meantime, while we wait to the connecting, you know the modus already from the last session. Normally I'll load for you guys in your absence and also have some kind of processing screen, you know this already, but for the first turn there's not so much to do, so I can slowly walk you in. We'll also talk a little bit about the strategies and so on, but actually I haven't made up my mind fully yet, so yeah, a little further remark, we're both not super pros. I'm definitely more experienced in terms of wargaming, and it's years that I've played similar games and so on, so for me it's I would consider myself in the advantage for sure. However, I'm also not a super strategic command in-depth pro, so it's not like I know what to do in every single turn or I have a build up or anything. I go a little with my guts and see what happens. So much about this. In the first turn you'll see just the secession. Basically we have some units to station, we have to spend some MPPs if you haven't played this one yet, so it's not gonna be full with battles or anything. Let's watch the return play together, but again it's probably not showing too many actions. Since the American Civil War is a kind of special scenario in my opinion, since there's not, unlike World War 1 and 2, two where the Axis have to rush in the beginning, go hard here, very hard. Here we have a build up a little bit where both sides can prioritize different things, and I feel like creating local advantages or superiorities is quite important in this one. I do enjoy the mechanics a lot. Anyways, let's have a look what happened. Fort Sumter was bombarded, sure. Virginia secedes, joins the Confederacy. Maryland votes against. Yeah, these are standard issues. 75,000, 75,000. Yeah, what? Okay, sorry guys. All these standard events. President Lincoln proclaims the blockade of the southern states. Okay, here we go. Welcome, Mr. President, to the American Civil War. At present, many of the border states have not yet joined the war, and in coming turns you can expect the secession of Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina. The situation in Missouri and Kentucky are less certain and can be influenced by diplomatic and West events and invasion. Victory in this war will depend on your availability to maintain the public's fighting spirit, so it is important to capture as much ground as possible, especially located and marked fighting spirit objectives. Yeah, strategy guide I've read, and it's the second game, so I'll keep on telling you about these things when necessary. Mr. President, the enlistment of tens of thousands of volunteers has placed unprecedented demand on our arsenals, and our quartermasters are reporting that a shortage of weapons is imminent as pre-war stocks are depleted. While in the long term we expect increased production at our facilities in Springfield, Maryland, Massachusetts, to supply our forces, mobilizing these resources will take time. To alleviate these shortages, our quartermasters have begun sourcing weapons and ammunition from markets in Europe. For the next 10 turns, you will receive 200 MPPs each turn as this equipment reaches our shores. Alright, some starting buff, but the enemy has it as well. Secretary of War Simon Cameron. The state of Missouri is deeply divided. Although much of the state's population seeks to remain neutral, Governor Jackson sympathizes with the rebel cause and may attempt to take the state out of the Union. In order to prevent Missouri's secession, we can order federal forces into the state to secure the St. Louis arsenal and then crush any secessionist militias that may be raised by Governor Jackson. This would ensure that Missouri joins the Union following the occupation of Jefferson City, although our bold action will surely cause some alarm in the neutral state of Kentucky. If we keep our forces out of Missouri, the state will remain neutral until the state government votes on issue or is invaded. As long as Missouri remains neutral, he will also receive grain shipments worth half of the state's MPP each turn. Would you like to force our forces into Missouri, yes or no? Let's get some extra info quickly. Seizing the St. Louis arsenal and occupying Missouri is the only way to guarantee the state will never secede and join the Confederacy, so it's generally recommended to say yes. If you say no, Missouri will swing 45 to 55% towards the Union. Following this, Missouri will secede and join the Confederacy only if it's ever more than 0% pro-Confederate. Yeah, they have to invest a lot, but it will drift towards the Union and can be expected to join the Union towards the end of the year upon reaching 100% mobilization. Saying yes will cause Kentucky to shift 10 to 20% towards the Confederates. Yeah, we're gonna say yes, we're gonna move in. Let's say the only thing, yeah, because we're gonna violate everything, of course. Sure, we could wait. But let me reason a little bit. I feel like keeping this front closed, and here also the Missouri and Mississippi River access kind of makes the front quite small and only a focus on the east, which might benefit the enemy in the beginning already, so you can focus harder. Apart from this, the Kentucky thing, yeah, we have, if the enemy, and we're really like diplomatically in Kentucky, and we will check the MPP production in a second, I will counter in West, but normally it should be fine with Kentucky also in this kind of setup. We shall see. Next decision. Fort Washita garrisons Colonel William H. Emery. Before the beginning of the rebellion, most of our small army was stationed at various forts across the Western Territories. Although most of these garrisons are located in areas from the rebel states and thus will play no part in this war, those located in the Indian Territory are under direct threat from militias operating from Texas. In order to prevent the likely destruction of these garrisons, we can evacuate them to Fort Leavenworth with the help of the local Indian warrior Black Beaver. This will ensure their safety, although the rebels will surely capture Fort Cobb and Washita and make the Indian tribes much more likely to side with the rebels. Alternatively, if we order the garrisons to maintain their positions, we will have a better chance to control the Indian territory and may be able to secure the help of some of the resident tribes. Note that if you order the garrisons to remain, it will not be possible to move them until the Indian tribes have joined the war, and they will require reinforcements to hold for any length of the time afterwards. Alright, garrisons of the Indian territory consists of 2 regiment units. Alright, saying yes, this isn't really a stat result. Deploying Fort Leavenworth, it's up here, yeah. Where we cut last match, we cut the supply coming in from Kansas. If you say no, all 5 Indian tribes will move 5 to 10% towards the Union. Note that from July 61, Indian tribes will begin drifting towards whichever side they favor. Alright. To be honest, let's have a look at the map. We're talking about these 2 regiments down here. And they could be transported up here, but I don't need those 2 regiments up here, to be honest. I always... For me, this is a clear no. I'd rather have the enemy occupied and the Indians a little bit occupied for longer, and then in this time at some point 2 regiments can be replaced anyways, and they will not grant us a lot of extra forces up there, so no, we won't evacuate. Okay, and yeah, they come here with a... Okay, now we're basically in the turn already. You see here Fort Washita only with 2, so we could reinforce them. However, we just exactly have 200 MPP, so if we want to do any reinforcements or research, I rather keep this for the moment before we think about reinforcing over here. Alright, so welcome to the first... for the first real actions over here. And we shall get into it in a second after looking for one moment at the research and diplomacy button. And the enemy hasn't invested in diplomacy, so we will also not invest in diplomacy either, since you know, we only would have reacted for Kentucky basically. And the enemy has invested apparently heavily into research and nothing on units so far. Interesting. This gives us some interesting information already for the start. Yeah, I mean, we come to research and production at the end of the turn. So let's start here in the west, and I think this is kind of our standard procedure. We will also face here New Mexico, definitely a front. We could consider getting these regiments, extra regiments, quickly over here, or take it down from Denver to New Mexico already. This is a tough one. We will get reinforcements for over here, and I feel like I never did this actually, but never thought about it. To Omaha. Where's Omaha? So, it's over here. That's pretty bad, but can we get here to Topeka? It's like here, right? I feel like over here we could make more use of it in the beginning, so let's actually move it down for the bit, at least to Colorado, and then we can decide if we rather go down to New Mexico or bring this regiment over here. Let me know what you think. Do we need it over here or not? Coming to Missouri. So the Missouri front, the enemy is down here in Jefferson and some units down here. The enemy can walk up and station himself up here, but the moment we take Jefferson, the city surrenders, the state surrenders, and we would take all these supply lines, so it's highly risky. So our main goal is to take Jefferson as quickly as possible. To do so, we don't have the strongest forces. We kind of need to use 3 or 4 at the same time and cut them, which is okay. And then we'll have to siege them for a bit, and then we will be able to... It's only a regiment down there, we can beat them. Yeah, so... But first, what I found highly important, or like a non... Yeah, this is actually... It has to be done, in my opinion, is taking this mine down here next to Carthage. It has a... Yeah, let's take it. It has a value of 2 MPPs per strength, and it has a strength of 5. I think, like, when you take this basically turn 1, you cost the enemy 10 MPPs. And let's also try right away take Joplin then. So we've got some supply next turn. We can go to Carthage, and then we just keep the regiment around until stronger reinforcements of the enemy there to take it. Alright, over here. Let's just... You know, these tiny towns don't produce a lot of MPP, but every little MPP is worth something. So I'm happy to take as much as I can in the beginning. In this case, we'll just start with Nevada, and then we probably move over here to Bolivar. You guys, okay, this is pretty nice. Or neat, you can move just in. Also the cavalry, remember the high importance of cavalry for scouting in this turn, since ambushes always, if you have only 1 hex scouting with the infantry units. And over here I think I'll take Liberty and St. Joseph, also just to have the harbor, just in general. I mean, to be honest, in the beginning not so much can happen, but also you don't want a lot of unexpected things to happen. So I try to do it as sincerely as I can. Over here let's take Hannibal. Push further. Over here, yeah. Okay, you go definitely Mr. Freeman. The Freeman HQ goes definitely to St. Louis. And you guys... We also got new units, right? But they're basically all for Washington. We shouldn't use them here, I think. Yeah, come on, we don't expect any resistance right now. So I think with these 4 units, if we focus them on Jefferson, this should be fine. Maybe with support of these guys. Let's see what we can do if we bring also some ships in. If we can, but doesn't look like over here. All right, Cairo. Well, we're definitely gonna keep this as a garrison in Cairo. I don't want to lose it quickly, as the enemy did. And let's do some proper searching over here. What's on? Okay, here we've got a gunboat. Okay, naval engines. But before we do any updates, I'd rather consider, as I told you, to look at the research and production first. Okay, this frigate, move a little bit further here to from Key West to Fort Jefferson defense. Yeah. The supply lines are not running yet, but of course I want to be able to raid them as soon as possible. As I told you in the Outlook video, definitely gonna put some emphasis or some efforts into our naval actions, since it's quite important to keep the enemies, MPPs down and blockade the enemy properly. So definitely this is gonna happen. All right, talking about it, up here we have 2 frigates. We won't need them that badly up here, so we can take them down a little bit. I don't want to move them down here to New Orleans or to the Gulf of Mexico yet, which is here really helpful for river boats and gunboats. We can transport them. They're kind of being carried by bigger ships. That's the idea. And that's kind of it already for the first turn. We can bring some units down. Yeah, okay. We've got 3, but we're gonna all place them here. There's no discussion about that, in my opinion. It's quite important that, to secure Alexandria and so on, and this is still the most essential front line. Fort Monroe will get some reinforcements very soon. Yeah, all these 3 brigades over here. Maybe we will send off, of course, there will be also the moment when we send reinforcements over here, but not this time. All right, leaves us to production and research. Let's think about it. Yeah, research this time with the US or the Union. We have tons of. We have maximum of 3,000, so we can basically, or 4,000. So we can research whatever we want. Of course, still we need to put some emphasis or like concentrate wherever we want to go. Question is, the really relevant ones are infantry equipment. I'd say also infantry tactics, production, industry in the beginning, also spying and intelligence. So these ones can be pretty helpful early on, or it should be some kind of focus in my opinion. Tactics also quite important. So, but the problem is the really important ones are 250 worth. So are we investing right now? Of course, our core organization is also not bad. I could also repeat somehow my move from the last game and go directly double shit here in spying, so we have the research bonus, because when you're ahead the enemy research is a little bit slower and you're a little bit faster. That could be kind of interesting. We could also go right ahead and blast out 200 MPPs for an extra brigade that arrives, so it could give us a little bit extra initiative already early on. Yes, but or we research something for 150 and use the remaining MPPs to reinforce our dudes here in Fort Washita, so they won't die with the first attack of the enemy, or we hope the enemy doesn't come that quickly. Tough questions out here. I feel like an early brigade that comes in and it's going to be there in 2 turns will come in pretty handy. So we're going to go for this. But don't get me wrong, I'm definitely also going to focus on research very soon. And the next there will be also research next turn. But I feel like if the enemy hasn't done this one, yeah, especially in the beginning where we all just have its maneuver warfare with brigades, 1 extra might make a difference here and there. And I feel like I really don't want to... I want to be in the right initiative from the beginning, so let's get the brigade. Normally it's against I'm more like the research dude, but this time let's go for production in this case. And next turn we're gonna research some as well. Alright, so we're basically already at the end of this very turn, of the first turn. I feel like there is nothing to do. Let's do some security check if I have forgotten anything. There is no riverboats out yet. Or a gunboat down here doesn't have to, I mean... Okay. Just in case, if it opens already, I don't know, then we could have 1 radar out there. It won't make a big of a difference. No units to put out. We've moved these frigates. The rest, these are fortresses, guys, in case you wonder why I'm ignoring these. These are just fortresses. And we've got this 1 gunboat up here, but it is stuck here in Lake Erie since... or... I don't even know if I can go up. Probably not. Is this Canada? Lake Huron? Let's check. Oh no, I can go. I could go to Lake Michigan and so on. But from here down from Michigan, from Chicago, there's no way to get down to the Missouri River or any bigger shippable rivers. So the only way for this gunboat to get free it would be if the English join the war on the other side, which is not desirable. And also, I'm not free then. I feel like I could drive up here to the St. Lawrence River, but in this, it's not displayed, so you couldn't even get out to the open sea. So this one is neglectable. All right, guys. So that's it. Let's finish together. Yeah. Anything else? No. All right, guys. Let's see what happens. They can celebrate the secession of Tennessee. Yeah, Nashville is going to be important, the target for us. Pro-Union Missouri volunteers join Nathaniel Leon's force near St. Louis. Ah, I forgot, there's always extra forces. Wonderful. Benjamin Butler's armored train helps the Union quell unrest in Baltimore. In the Provisional Army of the Confederate State begins organizing. Yeah, the build-up start. President Lincoln calls for Union volunteers to serve 3-year terms. And we make our first income, 917 NPP. So yeah, you see next turn we have way more industrial base to invest in research. Yeah, what is missing? No, our Western territories in Chile provide some resources. And that's it, guys. So thank you for being with me. This was the first turn, and we're all going to be excited how this American Civil War turns out this time. Thank you for watching, and again, please leave me a like and a subscription if you haven't yet. It motivates me a lot and helps the channel growing while it costs you nothing. Thank you so much for that. And then just see you next time with the next turn. Bye. Thanks, your Strategy Wolf.